Hey everybody, it's Nick Chino here from the Y108 Evening Show. You can catch me weeknights from 6:30 to midnight and at y108.ca/Nick and vigilantedetective.com. Welcome to my album review of the third solo album from Noel Gallagher and his High Flying Birds. It's called Who Built the Moon? Dance, dance, if you do that dance, I'm gonna let you join my one-man band. Be my doll, be my baby doll, come get to know me like the back of your hand. Alright, so I gave you my history with Oasis and my Liam Gallagher As You Were review a little over a month ago. You can catch that review right now on the channel, but just in a nutshell, I've been an Oasis fan for 20 plus years, ever since the 90s when I first discovered them back when Morning Glory came out, and I've just loved Noel Gallagher ever since. He's always been an inspiration to me. He's the reason why I learned how to play guitar and started, writing songs myself, because I just loved Noel Gallagher and his songwriting. Live Forever was the first song that I ever learned on guitar, so I got some Oasis cred, and I just love Noel Gallagher. I think I've always related to him a little bit more than Liam, because I've always been able to relate to, the fact that Noel could just sit down on a stool with an acoustic guitar and just sing songs for hours. He's always been really, really great at that, and he's always been an inspiration, so I love Noel Gallagher. He is the man. Maybe you're the same as me. You take 2 sugars in your tea. You and I are gonna live forever. And this fall, I've been calling it the Battle of the Gallaghers, because we had Liam putting out his solo album As You Were back at the beginning of October. Now it's near the end of November, and Noel Gallagher has put out his third solo album, Who Built the Moon. And ever since Noel announced this album a couple of months ago, fans have been freaking the hell out online, saying that Noel is sold out, that he's not rock and roll anymore, that he's making pop music, that he's gone all dance, and they are just not liking his new music, particularly the new single Holy Mountain, which I think is fantastic. But Noel has been calling out these so-called parka monkeys online, which I guess is just a term for people who aren't really into anything other than him sounding like Oasis. But you know what? I think Noel has done some really, really cool stuff with this new record. And in particular, Noel has been receiving some major flack online for having a French woman in his band who plays the scissors. I gotta say, I love the scissors. If you can find anybody who can play scissors better than that, I'd like to see it. We'll talk more about the controversy with this album in just a little bit, but first, the album itself. You know what? It's fantastic. What else would you expect from Noel Gallagher? This man is a master, and it's a little bit more energetic, a little bit more up-tempo than the second album from him that he released in 2015 called Chasing Yesterday, which is a fantastic album, but a little bit slower, a little bit more mid-tempo, and with this record, he's turning up the energy a little bit. He's experimenting, he's doing different things, and really, you know what? Noel Gallagher has always done different things on every album. When the riverman runs, find me the gold that electrifies the storm. That being said, this album isn't that different. I don't know what everybody is freaking out about. Noel has said in a couple of interviews that everybody was just freaking out about the record before they actually heard it, and that is totally true. This is totally a Noel Gallagher record through and through, and at the end of the day, it just sounds like Noel. Everybody's on the run. Everybody's on the run. Everybody's on the run. Everybody's on the run. Yes, the first half is a little bit more experimental than we've heard from Noel before, but if you're an Oasis fan or a Noel Gallagher fan at all, then really this should feel familiar to you. You got Fort Knox, which is just kind of like it's like a sequel to Bushes from Standing on the Shoulder of Giants. You got Holy Mountain, which is just a joyous pop rock song with a great beat. It just chugs along. You got the horns on there. What's not to love about Holy Mountain? Come on. She fell right under my spell. Hold a pretty baby, come on. You got what I think might be the best song on the record, which is called Keep On Reaching, which is Noel Gallagher sounding like Marvin Gaye. It's like a Motown song and a rock song and an experimental, just kind of fun pop song. It's awesome. Keep on reaching up for that higher ground, but don't keep on reaching up for that book you found. Can you keep a secret? Then on from there, you got the tracks Beautiful World and She Taught Me How to Fly, which are just, great pop rock songs. Yeah, there might be a little bit of a U2 influence in there, but I think if you are familiar at all with Oasis's last studio album from 2008 called Dig Out Your Soul, these kind of songs should be familiar. It's like Falling Down from that record or Get Off Your High Horse Lady. Those kind of songs that are a little bit different than the typical Oasis songs, but are just pure Noel. I am going to criticize the album a little bit though. There are, I think, too many instrumentals on this record. Of course, the first song on the album, Fort Knox, is really cool. It's got a great beat to it. But the other two instrumentals on this record, which are Interlude, Wednesday, Part 1, and End Credits, are just kind of there. They haven't really jumped out at me just yet. And Oasis has some great instrumentals in their back catalog, like the Swamp Song and Effin' in the Bushes. They got a great amount of instrumentals in their catalog. But these instrumentals on this album, I'm not so huge on them, and they kind of break up the flow a little bit. When you're singing along to some of your favorite songs, and then you got two or 3 minute long instrumentals that don't really go anywhere. They just kind of meander. It just kind of ruins the flow of the latter half of the album for me. Then there is a bonus track on this album called Dead in the Water. It was recorded a couple of years ago at a live session that Noel did in Dublin. And you know what? It is by the numbers, Noel. Don't get me wrong. It is a great song. But this is the song on the record that, surprise, everybody loves, because it's the exact kind of song that everybody wants Noel to do. They don't want him to do upbeat kind of rockers like Holy Mountain or Keep On Reaching anymore. They want him just to sit down. Like, I love that part of Noel, that he, sit down with an acoustic guitar and sing you a heartbreaking ballad that you're going to love forever, like Talk Tonight or Going Nowhere, or like, Idler's Dream, which is, all piano. But, that kind of side of Noel. We all love that. But, this is a great song, but it is by the numbers. But you know what? That's a song that everybody loves because it just sounds like Noel.
Let the storm rage, I die on the waves, but I will not rest while the love lies dead in the water. Dead in the water.
And here's the thing with the whole Battle of the Gallaghers thing. I say that as a joke because you can like both. A lot of people online are saying, well, you can only like one or the other. You gotta take Liam's side or you gotta take Noel's side, because obviously they don't get along, and Liam likes to call out Noel in the press, and every day you read online on the Enemy that they're arguing about something, and Liam said this on Twitter and Noel said this on in an interview, and everybody freaks out and says you gotta pick a side in the Battle of the Gallaghers. But that's just total hogwash. You can like both, and if you're an Oasis fan, you should really be in your glory right now, because we have so much music. We got 15 new songs on Liam's album a month and a half ago. We got 12 new songs, 13 with the Japanese bonus track, 12 new songs on this Noel album. So really stop complaining and just enjoy all the awesome new music that we're getting from the Gallagher brothers.
Because we need each other, we've been leaving one another, and I know we're gonna uncover sleeping in our souls.
But to all the people that knock Noel online and just love Liam, don't get me wrong, I love Liam. He is the man. He's got one of the best rock and roll voices of all time. But here's the thing. I went to see him the other night in Toronto. It was a great show. He sounded great. The band sounded great. But he wasn't into the crowd. The crowd was bothering him, because I guess the crowd that Rebel in Toronto was kind of lame, except for me, because I was singing along to every word. And he was feeling kind of sick, like he's always feeling sick. And back in the day when Liam would back out of a gig, which wasn't all the time, but it happened, fairly regularly. Liam would, quit after 2 or 3 songs. Who would be the guy to step up and play the rest of the gig and sing the rest of the songs? Mr. Noel Gallagher. And people forget that Noel Gallagher wrote every song that they love. Yes, it was the 2 Gallagher brothers that led to the success of Oasis. We all know that. It was Noel's songs and Liam's voice. But it was Noel who took Oasis from nothing and gave them his songs and took them to stardom. So yes, I love you, Liam. You're awesome. But Noel Gallagher is the reason why we're here.
My soul slides away, don't look back in anger, I heard you say.
With that being said, though, I think when it comes down to it, between Liam Gallagher's As You Were and Noel Gallagher's Who Built the Moon, I think the better album is Liam Gallagher's As You Were. As you saw in the review that I gave about a month and a half ago, I gave that record a 9 out of 10, and I love the Noel Gallagher record. I think this is a really strong record as well, but I think actually Liam came out on top with having the best record from the Gallagher brothers this fall. And I'm going to give the Noel Gallagher album, Who Built the Moon, a 8 out of 10.
Just give me a minute, man's got a limit. I can't get a life if my heart's not in it.
With Who Built the Moon, I think it's a good album that could have been great. There are those instrumentals that kind of slow it down and break up the flow towards the end of the album, but otherwise I really, really dig it. As far as how I rank Noel Gallagher's 3 solo albums, I'm going to put the debut from 2011, Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds, at number 1 because that's just a fantastic record from beginning to end. Number 2, I'm going to put Who Built the Moon, and number 3, I'm going to put Chasing Yesterday.
Said it's alright.
That is it for my review, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Let me know what you think of the new album from Noel Gallagher called Who Built the Moon in the comments section. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel and share the video as well. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Walking Nick. You can follow me at my websites, y108.ca/Nick and vigilantedetective.com. Make sure to check out the channel for more reviews. Actually, I have one up there for Greta Van Fleet's new album From the Fires, Stereophonics' new album called Scream Above the Sounds, a new Weezer record, Pacific Daydream. Check out the channel for more music reviews, and thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you guys next time. This is Chino, out.